जैसा कि अभी वीना जी ने बताया कि आज के दिन हम भारत के पूर्व राष्ट्रपति भारत रत्न डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम की पुण्यतिथि है। पुण्यतिथि पर उनको मैंने श्रद्धांजलि के लिए कुछ शब्द लिखे हैं, उनको मैं अपने श्रद्धा सुमन समर्पित कर रही हूँ। राम रहीम में भेद न माना, सब धर्मों को दिया था मान। पढ़ते थे कुरान और मन में रहता था गीता का ज्ञान। पढ़ते थे कुरान और मन में रहता था गीता का ज्ञान। पले अभावों में थे लेकिन संतोषी वे रहे सदा। पले अभावों में थे लेकिन संतोषी वे रहे सदा। संघर्षों से रहे जूझते, आगे बढ़ते रहे सर्वदा। जीवन भर ब्रह्मचर्य का पालन किया उन्होंने ज्ञानी बन। थे निष्काम कर्म योगी वे, थे निष्काम कर्म योगी वे। लोभ नहीं था उनके मन, लोभ नहीं था उनके मन। लगन लगी थी उनके मन में, दृढ़ संकल्प लिया जीवन में। पीछे मुड़कर कभी न देखा, पीछे मुड़कर कभी न देखा। बने मार्गदर्शक जन जन के, बने मार्गदर्शक जन जन के। कर्मठ बनकर करी साधना, कर्मठ बनकर करी साधना। बने मार्ग विज्ञान को उच्च शिखर पहुंचाया। अंतरिक्ष में यान भेजकर, अंतरिक्ष में यान भेजकर भारत को गौरव दिलवाया। त्याग तपस्या में जीवन था, त्याग तपस्या में जीवन था। निश्चल थे और उच्च विचार। बने राष्ट्रपति भारत के, बने राष्ट्रपति भारत के। पर जन जन से था उनको प्यार, जन जन से था उनको प्यार। बड़ी विलक्षण बुद्धि मिली थी, बड़ी विलक्षण बुद्धि मिली थी। अनुपम थी प्रतिभा उनकी, सरल स्वभाव सादगी से जीती मनोकामना भी सबकी। मन में था अभिमान नहीं, मन में था अभिमान नहीं। वे वर्चस्वी थे और मनस्वी, भारत रत्न से हुए अलंकृत। रहे विश्व में परम यशस्वी, भारत रत्न से हुए अलंकृत। रहे विश्व में परम यशस्वी। तभी अचानक चले गए वे, आज के दिन ही चले गए थे। छोड़ हमें वो बीच मझधार, आज के दिन ही चले गए थे। छोड़ हमें बीच मझधार। उनका सा अब कौन मिलेगा, रिक्त हुआ मानो संसार। उनका सा अब कौन मिलेगा, रिक्त हुआ मानो संसार। ब्रह्मलीन हो गए आज वे, ब्रह्मलीन हो गए आज वे। फिर से उनको पड़ेगा आना। युग युग हम सब याद करेंगे, भारत को सन्मार्ग दिखाना। युग युग हम सब याद करेंगे, भारत को सन्मार्ग दिखाना। है सलाम तुमको कलाम, है सलाम तुमको कलाम। तुम तो भारत के गौरव थे, चिर शांति मिले तब आत्मा को। तुम ही तो सच्चे मानव थे, चिर शांति मिले तब आत्मा को। तुम ही तो सच्चे मानव थे, तुम ही तो सच्चे मानव थे, तुम ही तो सच्चे मानव थे। धन्यवाद आप सबको।
बहुत अच्छा
वीना जी,
वेरी नाइस।
वीना जी धन्यवाद मुझे अवसर देने के लिए।
हमें आपका धन्यवाद करना चाहिए। इतनी सुंदर पोएट्री जो आपने रचित की है, इट्स सो ब्यूटीफुल। मैं कहूंगी कि एक दो लोग कोई कहना चाहें तो बोल सकते हैं। वी हैव 1 मिनट।
ये
बहुत सुंदर शकुंतला दी,
अपनी लिखी
शकुंतला
हुई
दी बहुत सुंदर, आपने बहुत अच्छा बोला और बहुत
इनकी
अच्छा
लिखी हुई है, इनकी अपनी लिखी हुई रचना।
हाँ पता है,
वेरी
मुझे
गुड,
पता है, आप बहुत अच्छा लिखती हैं।
बहुत अच्छा।
शकुंतला जी बहुत अच्छा, बहुत
मुझे अगर आप सब लोग मौका देते तो 2 जुमले कहूंगी, ज्यादा नहीं।
जीवा जी बोलिए।
मैं ये कहना चाह रही हूँ कि शकुंतला जी की इस नज्म को सुनकर हमको कोई ताज्जुब नहीं हुआ, और कोई हम कहेंगे भी नहीं कि क्या कमाल कर दिया, क्योंकि वो तो हमेशा ही कमाल करती है। कोई नई बात नहीं है उनके लिए। किसी भी टॉपिक दे दो उनको, वो टॉपिक पे कमाल कर देंगे। इसलिए अबुल कलाम के लिए अगर कुछ कमाल किया है तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं। थैंक यू, आप तो कमाल है।
थैंक यू
आप
थैंक
जीवा
यू
जी कुछ भी कहिए, हमारे लिए तो कमाल ही कमाल है,
कमाल है
भाई
हम।
आप
क्योंकि हम तो इनसे एक साल से परिचित हुए हैं और इनके मुख से जो भी शब्द निकलता है उसमें इतना भाव रहता है कि वर्ड हिंदी के वो तो बियॉन्ड अवर इमेजिनेशन होते हैं, लेकिन जब ये बोलती है तो सब हमारे दिमाग में भी आने लगते हैं। अरे व्हाट ए ब्यूटीफुल रचना आपने लिखी है अब्दुल कलाम जी के ऊपर।
इनका हर
है।
वर्ड एक कमाल का होता है, हर रचना एक
Exactly.
कमाल की होती है।
चलिए अब हम अब अगले प्रोग्राम पे
Thank you.
चलते हैं।
बहुत अच्छा शकुंतला जी।
सबको हम म्यूट कर देते
नमस्कार
हैं।
धन्यवाद।
मैं तो
आप
आपका
लोगों को
बहुत
अच्छी
बलजीत
लगी, ये
जी।
मेरा सौभाग्य है
मेरी
कि आप
बहन।
लोगों को मेरी रचना पसंद आई। धन्यवाद।
बहुत देर से मैं
थैंक यू।
आपको
हाँ जी, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर
हाँ,
लीजिए।
अब हमारा अगला जो कार्यक्रम है वो भी एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम जी के बारे में ही है और उनके लिए बहुत कुछ कहने वाले हैं आज हमारे अपने ही पीएलएन शर्मा हैदराबाद से। राइट, आप हैदराबाद में बैठे हैं ना? हैदराबाद से बहुत कुछ आज सीखने को मिलेगा। इवन दो वी थिंक वी नो अवर राष्ट्रपति बट रियली वी डोंट नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट हिम। चलिए पीएलएन शर्मा, फ्लोर इज योर्स, टेक ओवर। You have whole hour to tell us everything. आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी।
No sound.
Now it's okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Veena ji.
Recording
And-
on रखिएगा बलजीत जी।
Sure.
जी. And thank you, Shakuntala ji. In fact, you have told the summary of his life, which I am going to tell a little more in detail. It's a wonderful poem. And let's get going. You're able to see the screen, no? Full
Yes.
screen now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Remembering Sri APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man of India, people's president, icon of simplicity, and there are so many words which I'll not be able to tell. So many titles he has earned, apart from the literary awards and other awards. So many titles he has. So let us get going. This is the photograph of his about his college days. I would like to tell here, there were some photographs which are in circulation in WhatsApp group showing him as a small kid with his parents. That's a fake photograph. And I have collected this data. Whatever presentation I'm going to give you, it is from his two books, The Wings of Fire, and other one I'll tell you, and also from some of the interviews he has given to different news channels in India and abroad also. Okay, now let us go with the index. This is childhood, formal education, higher education, in search of a job, beginning of his illustrious career, launch of Indian space program, project director SLV, director DRDL, 11th president of India, assignments between 2007 and 2015 post presidency. Then last day, 27th July 2015, and his memorial, APJ Abdul Kalam Memorial in Rameshwaram, awards and honors, icon of simplicity, golden words from his book Wings of Fire, famous quotes by him and at different occasions. One minute, something gone wrong. I don't know, every time when I start a program in the morning, something goes wrong here. 1 minute. I'll stop sharing and start again. Sorry for the break. You can see the screen now? No problem, no? Yeah. Okay. Then famous quotes. Then favorite poem of Kalamji. He is a great poet also. And his tribute to his mother. Then, of course, the conclusion. So let's get going about his childhood. His full name is Awul Pakir Janulabdin Abdul Kalam. He is born on 15th October 1931 in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu. Father is again Jainulabdin Maraikayar, was a boat owner and a boat builder also, with of course no formal education. Ashiyamma, his mother, housewife. He was the youngest among 4 brothers and 1 sister. His sister is the eldest among all. Something is going wrong. Again, something is going wrong. Sorry. Yeah. Ahmad Jalaluddin, who was 15 years older than him, was his good friend, and they used to discuss current affairs and religious matters while walking through the streets of Rameswaram and sitting in the Ramalinga Swami temple. Jalaluddin used to encourage Kalam to pursue his studies as he could not do so due to his family problems. This is a portrait of his father, and there was no photograph of his father available anywhere. And this is his house in Rameswaram, and it is very close to this Ramanath Swami temple, which is very famous. And okay, then early education, 1936 to 1944. Samsuddin, who is a cousin of Kalam, used to distribute newspapers in Rameswaram, was another person who influenced Kalam. Kalam helped him to distribute newspapers and earn money to support his family. What happened was, before this happened when he was about 8 years old. His distribution of newspapers started around 8 years old. Before that, he was his family was earning enough money to live peacefully. There are no luxuries whatsoever. It's a big family, not only his family members, then his cousins, his brothers, I mean, his father's brothers, their children, everybody was there. It's a big family of more than 10 to 12 kids. And his father, as I said, boat builder, but he also has a small piece of land where coconuts are grown. And his father's routine starts at 4:30 in the morning. He goes after his morning namaz, he goes for a walk towards his field, coconut garden, pick up some coconuts, come back, give it to his mother, distribute some to his neighbors. Then that's how his routine starts. We will not go into details of that. But and he was earning good money as a boat builder. But he used to play a boat between Rameswaram and Dhanushkodi carrying tourists. But what happened, there was a huge cyclone, and also not only that, due to Second World War, he lost his, due to a cyclone, he lost his boat, and they were in severe financial crisis. So this boy, even though he's 8 years old, Kalamji, started off earning some money to support his family. So this Samsuddin, who is a cousin, he was a sole newspaper distributor in Rameswaram. He asked him, okay, if you help me, I will give you some money. So Kalamji's job was to run to the railway station early morning. There was one Madras Dhanushkodi mail, which comes around early morning to Rameswaram. And earlier it used to stop there. There was no problem. But after the World War, the train stopped stopping there. It goes directly to Dhanushkodi without stopping at Rameswaram. So what these people used to do is they used to throw the newspaper bundles onto the platform. He has to pick up them, segregate newspaper wise, then distribute among in the city of, town of Rameswaram. About 1,000 people used to read newspapers those days in Rameswaram. And he used to get some money in it. Anyway, during his childhood, he inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father, and faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. Pakshi Ramanatha Sastri, Aravindan, and Shiva Prakashan were his friends during his school days. Pakshi Ramanatha Swami became head priest of Ramanath's temple after his father. Hello? Ma'am, please mute. Ramanatha temple after his father, Lakshman Sastri. And his friend Aravindan, he became a tour operator in the Rameswaram Island. And this Shiva Prakashan has become a catering contractor for Southern Railway. And of course, Kalamji became President of India. Then in his school days, when he was studying third standard, a new teacher has come to the school. All the children were very eager how this new teacher will behave with us, how he teaches us, and all those enthusiastic. But as I told you, Kalam used to sit with this gentleman, Ramanatha Sastri, in the front bench. So the moment the new teacher saw Kalamji sitting in the front bench along with a Brahmin, he immediately asked Kalam to go back to the last bench. Kalam was in tears. Even Ramanath Sastri was in tears, but he has to oblige his teacher. So that day in evening, they told his father, both of them told their father, this is what has happened in the school. His father was a and this Lakshmana Shastri, the head priest of Ramanath Swami temple, and Kalam's father, and another father of the church. They're all three good friends, and they used to sit together every Friday in the house of Kalam and used to discuss how to ensure harmony, communal harmony, religious harmony among within the city of Rameswaram, so that it is not affected like the other side of the other part of the world, other part of India. So when this was brought to the notice of his parents, all the three of them, the father of the church, the Lakshmana Sastri, and Kalamji's father, they called the teacher and explained him the discipline, and explained him and convinced him that as a teacher, it is the prime duty of the teacher to mold the children and bring in a broader spectrum of mind, not divide the community in the name of religion. Of course, the next day itself, this teacher asked Kalam to come back to the front bench. That was the harmony going among the three, a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu. All of them used to sit together, and their words are treated as law in the Rameswaram city. Then another thing, this is the photograph of Pakshi Lakshmana Sastri ji, head priest of Ramalinga Swami temple. Then another incident was Siva Subramanyam, one of the science teachers. He called Kalamji for lunch one day. When he went there, his wife refused to allow him to enter the kitchen. You remember those days, we used to have food only in the kitchen itself. There is no separate dining hall, kitchen separate, dining hall separate, all are together. So he, being a Muslim boy, she has not allowed him to enter the kitchen. Mr. Siva Subramanyam was very much upset with the behavior of his wife. So he also, instead of taking food in the kitchen, he also took food outside. He himself served for Kalam also. So after 1 week, he again called him for dinner. The teacher called again Kalamji for dinner. That time she served food. What happened in the 1 week? He told this, Siva Subramanyam told Kalamji. His comments are, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. Had lasting impression on his Kalam's life, and he learned to accept failure as the stepping stones for success. Kalam moved to Ramanathapuram and joined Seward's High School. Teacher Ayadurai Solomons word, to succeed in life and achieve results, you must understand and master three mighty forces: desire, belief, and expectation. These words had again wonderful impact on him, Kalamji, and he molded his character. Here I would like to say, of course, this is the photograph of the teachers. This gentleman on the, he is Mr. Ayadurai Solomon, and this is Ramakrishna Iyer. This Ayadurai Solomon was a very good teacher, and he used to take these children, some of them, to the beach and explain how birds can fly, what makes birds fly, and all those papers. That actually created an enthusiasm in Kalamji to know more and more about aeronautical engineering. That will come in the later. Then his higher education. In 1950, he joined St. Joseph College, Tiruchi. He shared a room in the hostel with an Orthodox Iyengar and a Syrian Christian from Kerala. See his life, how he mingles, how he is to adjust with different people of different from different places and also of different religion. His teachers, Revered Father T.N. Sequeria, Revered Father Kalathil, Professor Thotathiri Iyengar, Professor Suryanarayan Sastri had great influence on Kalam as he learnt about Hinduism and Christianity along with the other subjects. He completed his BSc degree and wanted to pursue engineering, even though he should have done it after 12th standard. He got admission into Madras Institute of Technology, but was short of money to pay 600 rupees of college fees. His sister, Johra, mortgaged her gold and helped him. She had immense faith and confidence and trust on Kalam's ability that he will become one day a great person. Not only her, her parents and everybody. This is the photograph of a library of Mr. S.T.R. Manikyam is in the photograph here, from where Kalamji used to borrow books whenever he's in Rameswaram and read a lot of material. During second year of engineering, he selected aeronautical engineering as specialization. In the college campus, there were 2 aircrafts, Air Force aircrafts displayed for training, for training purpose of the students. So he got more influence with that, and he selected aeronautical engineering. Teachers at the college who influenced Kalam are Professor Sponder, Professor K.A.V. Pandalai, and Professor Narsingh Rao. Kalam was influenced by their capacity to feed their students intellectual hunger by sheer brilliance and untiring zeal. This actually made him a good leader subsequently because he understood the importance of teaching or coaching the people. During the last year of the course, a project to design a low-level air attack aircraft was given to him along with 4 other students. Kalam's responsibility is to design and draw aerodynamic design. His guide, Professor Srinivasan, was not happy with the design given him 3 days time to complete the work, otherwise his scholarship would be stopped. On the 3rd day morning, Professor Srinivasan walked into his room and after studying the work done, hugged and appreciated Kalam and said, I knew I was putting you under stress and asking you to meet an impossible deadline. I never expected you to perform so well. Actually, this made Kalam to stretch his capabilities to the limit and deliver results, positive results. And this is his brother, elder brother. He's showing the T-square, which engineering students used to do for geometrical drawing purpose. This is called T-square. It is mandatory for engineering students. But still kept in his house. During farewell photograph, Professor Sponder asked Kalam to sit next to him, have as the best students. As a train, then he was sent to HL Bangalore for training as a course in the final year, part of final year course. He learned the practical applications, what he learned in the classroom. This is the photographs. Professor Sponder is here. He is an Australian, and here is young Kalam. Okay, now I would like to just say a couple of things. A man's character is built in the beginning at home by the parents and subsequently by the teachers in the school and colleges. Actually, I had the opportunity of listening to Valmiki Ramayana translated shloka wise during my home quarantine for 14 days. And during the Balyakanda and Aranyakanda, I understood thoroughly. Earlier, I know, but I understood thoroughly how Rama's character is built or molded to be a role model by his parents at home and by his gurus Vasistha and Vishwamitra. Especially Vishwamitra played a major role in molding Rama into a great character. I find similarities between Kalam's childhood and college days and Ramayana, first two kandas of Ramayana of Rama. So this is just my interpretation. Okay. In search of job. Kalam attended his first interview with Director of Technical Development Production TTD and P Air in Delhi. It was a cakewalk for him because it's morely technical. He could answer everything, whatever is asked. Then his dream was to become an Air Force pilot. So from there, he reached Dehradun to attend another interview with Air Force Recruitment Authority. He was ranked 9th out of 25 candidates interviewed for 8 vacancies. So he missed by 1 slot. There he describes the interview was not just technical. They weighed more upon the physical capabilities of the candidate. That's the reason he could rank 9. So he was totally depressed as he could not, he was not selected as an Air Force officer. So from Delhi, he went, from Dehradun, he went to Rishikesh and met Swami Sivananda in his ashram. Swamiji said, these are again a lasting impression on him. These words, accept your destiny and go ahead with your life. You are not destined to become an Air Force pilot. What you are destined to become is not revealed now, but it is predetermined. Forget this failure, as it is essential to lead you to your destined path. Search instead for the true purpose of your existence. Become one with yourself, my son. Surrender yourself to the wish of God. This is nothing but a summary of Gita. Then the beginning of his career. After his Swamiji's words, he has gone back to DTP Air and joined as a senior scientific assistant at salary of 250 per month. After 3 years, he was transferred to Aeronautical Development Center, ADE, in Bangalore. A project to design and develop an indigenous hovercraft prototype as a ground equipment machine, that is GEM, was assigned to him with 3 members to support to be completed in 3 years. Mr. V.K. Krishnamenon, Defense Minister, was monitoring the progress of this project whenever he was in Bangalore. Kalam faced many criticism from his colleagues about the project itself and also about capabilities of Kalam, because none of these team members had ever designed or constructed a machine, forget about a flying machine. That is what he has written in his book. But he ignored all. He has made it. The hovercraft was ready and named Nandi. And Mr. V.K. Krishnamenon himself took the trial run along with when Kalam drove it. All the seniors, his security people advised, Baba, don't take risk. Your life is at risk, don't do that, but he ignored it. And the trial run was successful. But unfortunately, after Krishnamenon left the office, this project was shelved. It was not pursued further, to the utter disappointment of Kalamji, because it is his first project he has done ever. The director then, unfortunately, the director of AD informed Kalam that a VIP would like to ride Nandi next day and asked him to be ready. The VIP was none other than Professor M.G.K. Menon, director of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. He appreciated Kalam's efforts, and after a week, he received a letter from Indian Committee for Space Research to attend an interview. The Kalam interviewed by Vikram Sarabhai, Professor Vikram Sarabhai, Professor M.G.K. Menon, and Mr. Sharaf, who was then the Deputy Director of Atomic Energy Commission. In fact, Kalam met Vikram Sarabhai first time in Mumbai in the interview only. There was a post in our group, ICC Seniors, that Kalam as a 12-year boy met Vikram Sarabhai in the beach of Chennai. When he was in Chennai, he was a student only. He has not completed his education. Anyway, that's the part of it. This is the photograph of the hovercraft designed and developed, constructed by Kalamji. It was like, it just flies a few feet above the ground, not like an aeroplane. Then launch of Indian space program. Kalam was appointed as rocket engineer in 1962 and transferred to Tumba to set up Equatorial Launching Station. The Christian community in Tumba, it is in Kerala, close to Trivandrum, very graciously gave up their beautiful church to house the first unit of the Space Research Center. Very soon, he was sent to NASA for training. Before leaving for NASA, of course, he visited his parents' house. He sought the blessings of his parents, his friends, and others. And their friends Jalaluddin and Sansuddin came to Bombay airport to see him off. In US, at Wallops flight facilities at Wallops Island in East Coast, Virginia, Kalam noticed a painting showing Tipu Sultan's army firing rockets against British soldiers. He felt happy that rocket launching was not new to Indians those days. This Kalamji, Tipu Sultan's episode took 150 years before. After his return from USA, the first rocket launch took place on 21st November 63. It was named Nike Apache, made in USA and assembled in Tumba. The rocket was carried by a manually operated hydraulic crane. But when they were about to place the rocket on the launch pad, the crane developed leak. The hydraulic system developed a leak, and they had to physically lift the rocket and place it on the launch pad by his own. This is the church which was given to start the Indian space program, which now is one of the best in India or in the world. Professor Vikram Sarabhai had many ambitious plans for Indian space research and to space research program, so that India is self-sufficient, and he had immense faith on his team, even though they were not highly qualified. Here he plays the role of a guru and he molded again Kalamji from a young man into a great leader. He is the first person to mold him in his career path. He assigned Kalam team with the following projects, which enhance the capabilities of Indian scientists and the image of India worldwide: Rohini sounding rocket, satellite launching vehicle, rocket assisted takeoff system. First Rohini rocket launched successfully on 20th November. The first Rato was ready and tested successfully on 8th October 72 in 12 months' time against a target of 18 months. This I would like to tell about a little bit about Rato. It's an takeoff system which will enable aircrafts to take off with shorter runway, and that is very essential for Indian Air Force, especially in the hilly areas in the northernmost part of India. And earlier it was being imported. After Kalam made a substitute for it, the cost came down to 18,000 from 33,000. Here is Vikram Sarabhai. He is the gentleman. See the look, his eyes focused on Kalamji. Whatever he's telling, he could read the mind of Kalam, and he could see a great leader in him in the coming. Then he was assigned the project director's post for SLV project. He was transferred to ISRO, where he was the project for Satellite Launch Vehicle 3, SLV-3. Kalam received government approval and expanded the program to include more engineers. In 70s, Kalam also directed two projects, Project Devil and Project Valiant, which was to develop ballistic missiles from technology of successful launch of SLV program. India was the fifth country to develop and launch SLV. These are the two more people who molded him further, who supported him. One is Satish Dhawan, this gentleman, and other is Brahmam Prakash. And Kalamji is giving a presentation on his project work. Kalam was appointed as chief executive for the Mission Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. He played a major role in developing many missiles. Agni and Prithvi, will come to that later. These are the photographs of these Prithvi and Agni missiles. The Agni missile was a failure initially. There were a lot of hiccups before it was successfully launched. In the media, there was a lot of cartoons and jokes. I will just share some of them. The Hindustan Times showed a leader consoling press reporters. There was no need for an alarm. It's a purely peaceful, non-violent missile. It will not harm anybody, don't worry. It was a sarcastic manner. Then R.K. Lashmanji joke. nothing to be discussed. We have postponed it again because we want to be absolutely certain. You can see the creepers on the missile. Then another cartoon, the fault was in the press button switch. It did not make, in fact, that was one of the actual problems when they initially tried to launch this Agni missile. The Hindu carried a cartoon by Keshav showing the villager counting some currency notes and coming to another. Yes, it is the compensation for moving away from my hut near the test site. A few more postponements, I can build a house of my own. So it is the number of postponements you can understand. Another cartoonist designated Agni as IDBM, intermittently delayed ballistic missile. Amul's cartoon suggested that what Agni needed to do was use their butter as fuel. I think this cannot be more insulting than anything. And after the successful launch, see the jubilation, he was carried on his shoulders by the others. And this is Kalamji after the successful launch of Agni. Between 1970 and 1990, Kalam made an effort to develop launch vehicle PSLV and SLV3 projects, both of which were proved to be successful. Dr. Brahman Prakash, again inspecting the SLV3 launch pad, and of course this and this is on SLV3 on the launch pad. And after successful launch of SLV3, where they could put the Rohini into orbit, Rohini satellite into orbit, he was explaining to then Prime Minister some of the features of it, along with others. Now he was appointed as Director DRDL. Kalamji took charge as Director DRDL on 1st of June 1982. Here I will just add on, since he joined ISRO and time for 1982, that's almost about 20 years, he was again molded as a great leader by his bosses like Vikram Sarabhai, Brahman Prakash, and Satish Dhawan. Now he is a complete man, a complete leader with vision by 1982. And he promoted his team. He ensured that his team delivers the best. He could extract the best from his team, even though they are ordinary people. Especially when he joined DRDL as a director, there were very good scientists, but working independently without a teamwork, without a team work. That means they're on their own. They're in their own capsules, doing their particular version without even discussing integration with mixing with others. Kalam ensured that stopped. And he started inviting professors and others from other institutes like IITs, IIMs, and took their knowledge, theoretical knowledge, and put into practice here. Okay. At Delhi, after he took charge as the director, he initiated and explained integrated guided missile programs to the ministry, which includes surface-to-surface weapon, Prithvi. I will not go to the details. The tactical core vehicle, Trishul. The surface-to-air missile named Akash. The anti-tank missile project, Nag. And the re-entry experiment, RX, named as Agni. All these 5 projects were his pet projects, and he appointed 5 leaders to head these projects. So he calls them Pandavas. And who is Draupadi? Positive thinking, nothing else. And because all these different projects needs different technical expertise, and he identified the proper right people, and they shared their experiences. We'll come to it later. And when he was explaining this program in Delhi to the ministry, he suddenly realized that on the same day evening, he has to attend his wedding of his niece, his sister's daughter, at Rameswaram. So when it was known to the minister, defense minister, he said, okay, don't worry. You take the evening flight. I will arrange an aircraft for you to take you to Madurai. So when he reached Chennai, Indian Air Force aircraft was available for him to take him to Madurai. From Madurai, he drove down to Rameswaram at the right time to attend the marriage. That was the reward for his hard work. On 16 September, Trishul took off from West Range Sriharikota, Shar, followed by successful test flight of pilotless target aircraft. Agni missiles successfully tested on 22nd May 89. Even though all of these missiles were developed with indigenous technology, in-house technology, the world never was not ready to accept it. USA said it was the technology was given by Germans, and Germany says the technology was given by France. And the External Affairs Minister of USA further commented, during the last visit of Kalam, he took away the technology from us. That is irony. 1992 to 1997, Kalam was scientific advisor to Defense Minister. Kalam was a key figure in 1998 Pokhran 2 test, in which 5 nuclear devices were detonated in Rajasthan desert. Kalam was with the help of cardiologist Somaraju in 1998, developed a low-cost coronary stent named Kalam Raju stent. Cost reduction was by 90%. From 1,20,000, it has come down to 12,000. In 2012, a rugged tablet computer for healthcare in rural areas is designed and named Kalam Raju tablet. Probably, I think the Raju is not the same Raju. He must be Ramalinga Raju of Satyam Computers. From 1999 to 2001, he served as principal scientific advisor to Government of India with the rank of cabinet minister. This was the photograph after the Pokhran test in Rajasthan. Then the books that influenced Kalamji in his life. In his book, My Journey, actually this is an extract, some of the points are taken from this book only, My Journey, and as well as The Wings of Fire. Kalamji mentioned that he had high impact on the character and helped him to reconcile and overcome failures. These books are Light from Many Lands. It was a compilation of different writings of different authors. It was compiled and book named as Light from Many Lamps. Then Tirukkural by Thiruvalvar, Bhagavad Gita, and of course Quran and Vedas. Here I will just, it's out of the context, but I would just want to say Robert Oppenheimer, a German, migrated to US, a physicist in US, known as father of atomic bomb. On 16 July 1945, when the Trinity test was successful, that means the first nuclear weapon was tested successfully in the Mexican deserts. All the other scientists, some were happy, clapping their hands, some were jumping with joy, some had tears in their eyes. And this gentleman, he recited a sloka from the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga of Bhagavad Gita, meaning, now I become death, the destroyer of worlds. If, of course, all of you are familiar with Gita, where Lord Krishna in his Vishwarup, he tells these words, I am the destroyer of everything, of anything. And another sentence, of course, it was not documented, but what I read, what I read from other sources, that this gentleman, this Robert Oppenheimer, he again described that the blaze and the fire from this missile, the weapon, as if 1,000 suns are shining at the same time. This is again a sloka from Bhagavad Gita in the same chapter. Just out of context, but then he became the 11th president of India from 25th July 2002 to 24 July 2007. He was the first scientist and first bachelor to be elected as president of India. He was popularly known as People's President. He signed the Office of Profit Bill, which is a controversial bill, which doesn't allow MPs to earn income from another post. They cannot have 2 posts simultaneously. Being an MP, he should not have any other post or source of income for him. That was the bill. He signed that bill. Then he rejected the mercy petition of one gentleman, and the balance 20 were kept pending. When somebody was sentenced to death, they go apply to president for mercy. Then he imposed president's rule in Bihar. Again, it has become a controversial decision. This is the photograph with the Russian president and Manmohan Singh. This is a photograph with Somnath Chatterjee, at that time the Lok Sabha Speaker, and of course Manmohan Singh. This is the photograph of with three chiefs of defense services, Navy, Air Force, and military, Army. Yeah. On 8 June 2016, he, being the Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, fulfilled his childhood dream when he became the first head of state to fly a fighter plane, Sukhoi 30 MKI, as co-pilot. Actually, he has undergone a little bit of training before he actually boarded the flight. This is the photographs of that. And this is he is addressing the press after the flight is over. And as a president, he was very fond of children. He met millions of children, students, and youth during his presidency and post-presidency also. And he went to the highest border, the Sichuan border, and met these army personnel, gave a salute to them. This is a photograph of that. Then after 2007, he got so many assignments as a visiting professor at IIM Shillong, Ahmedabad, Indore, and honorary fellow of IISc Bangalore, professor of aerospace engineering at University Chennai, chancellor of Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Trivandrum, and he addressed many institutes motivating the students. In 2011, he launched a program for the youth of India called What Can I Give Movement, with the theme of defeating corruption. This is his photograph at his Rameswaram house with his brother, their children and grandchildren. See the simplicity. He is the president of India, and still they kept the same house. You see the furniture, same thing, same old furniture, nothing new. Then the last day, 27 July. On 27 July, he was driving to Shillong to address IIM Shillong on the subject, creating a livable planet Earth. During his journey, he expressed his concern with his aide, Srijan Pal Singh, about Gurdaspur attacks in Punjab. He said, "It seems the man-made forces are as big a threat to the livability of Earth as pollution. 30 years at this rate, maybe. You guys must do something about it. It is going to be your future world." Of course, while entering the auditorium, he felt a lot of discomfort, but after taking some rest, he managed to address the people. But within 5 minutes of the address, he collapsed due to massive heart attack. His last words to Srijan Pal Singh were, "Funny guy, are you doing well?" That was the last word. And he was declared dead at 7:45 p.m. by Bethany Hospital. They have done their best, but could not be saved. On 30th July 2015, he was laid to rest at Rameswaram Pai Karumbu ground with state honors. Around 350,000 people attended the last ritual, along with many national and international leaders. In fact, the national flag of many nations was lowered to half-mast in his honor, including White House. A memorial was built in Rameswaram. This is the view, aerial view of the memorial. This is the front view of the auditorium, the memorial. And this is the photograph inside the statue inside the auditorium, memorial. He playing Veena. He is a very good player of Veena, and he loves to do it whenever he has time. And not whenever he has, he used to find time to do it. That is the right word. Southwestern Railway paid tribute to this missile man. A unique tribute to former president is done by the railways. This 7.8 feet high and 800 kg heavy structure is fabricated entirely of scrap material like nuts, bolts, wire ropes, soap containers, and damper pieces. And this is the photograph of that. It was available in Yeshwantpur coaching depot. Awards and rewards, there are numerous. I will just go through some of them. Padma Bhushan in 1981, Padma Vibhushan 1990, Bharat Ratna in 1997, Von Braun Award from National Space Society, USA. Hoover Medal in 2009 from ASME Foundation, again USA. He was ranked number 2 after Ambedkar in 2012 during the survey conducted by Outlook magazine. UN Assembly declared 15th October as World Students' Day. Kalam visited Switzerland on 26th May 2006, and that day is known as Science Day in Switzerland. Government of Tamil Nadu observes his birthday as Youth Resonance Day. A cash reward of 5 lakhs cash prize and 8 grams gold for promoting scientific growth, the humanities, or welfare of the students. It will be given to the citizen, not to the Wheeler Island, a national missile test site in Odisha, was renamed as Abdul Kalam Island in 2015. He received 19 more awards from national international societies. Many educational scientific institutions in India were renamed after him. A postal stamp was released by the government, 5 rupee in 2015. And of course, these are some of them. I will not go through, but there, if you see the locations, one is India, UK, USA, Canada, UK, again, and China. There are many honorary doctorates are given from different times. He has written 18, actually not 18, it is 21 technical and inspirational books, which include Wings of Fire, My Journey. I read both of them completely. India 2020, the vision document for India. Ignited Minds for the Youth. Transcendence, Age Experiments with Spirituality, and many more. 8 eminent personalities have written his biography. Some documentary film, A Little Dream, is made. I Am Kalam, Hindi film in 2011. My Hero Kalam, Kannada movie in 2018. People's President 2016 documentary by Films Division. And this is the book, Transcendence, an experiment, my spiritual experience with Pramukh Swamiji of Swaminarayan Temple. Then the simplicity of this person, icon of simplicity. He met Indira Gandhi in formal dress with chappal. There were no shoes for him in the Parliament House. Kalamji lived in a room of 10 feet by 12 feet long, furnished with books, papers, and few hired furniture. Either he was in Trivandrum, Bangalore, or Hyderabad, except in Rashtrapati Bhavan, of course. He is a vegetarian, and whenever his people, his relatives, his brothers, and their families visited Rashtrapati Bhavan, he paid the bills from his salary. He has not given it from the government money. And he loves spending time with children and students. They say they are the future of India. And when he saw an injured peacock in Mughal garden during his morning walk, he himself carried it to the doctor. He describes intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, with a test range of 2,500 kilometers as his son, because he is unmarried right through. No iftar feast at Rashtrapati Bhavan, as he was against religious events on taxpayers' expense. And he invited 6,000 farmers to Rashtrapati Bhavan, had lunch with them, and discussed their problems. Then, when he was asked in the interview by one of the TV channels, what was the most satisfying event in his life? Is it the missiles or the presidentship or whatever it is? Then he says, when he was in DRDL, one Professor Prasad from Hyderabad, he met him in his laboratory, and he saw certain material which was very light. Actually, they use it in the satellites and missiles, and very strong. Then he said, why don't you visit my hospital? He's a cardiologist. And when he visited his hospital, he saw about 25 children below age of 15 wearing calipers, each caliper was weighing 4 kgs. Then this professor said, why don't we make a mold for these people with the material what you have developed in your lab? And a new calipers, lightweight calipers were made. And when it was given, within 1 week, the children used to run, not just walk, used to run, because The weight of the calipers from 4 kgs is dropped to 400 grams. And Kalamji describes the tears of joy he saw in the minds of the people, in the faces of the people and the children and their parents, was the most satisfying event in my life. That is his message. He earned money, name worldwide, but he's not worried about it. Again, something went wrong here. Sorry. 1 minute. I have to again log. I'll join in a minute. I think we are running out of time. Yeah.
You have 8 minutes.
Yeah. I think. Okay. His assets: 2,500 books, a wristwatch, a Veena, a CD player, a laptop, 6 shirts, 3 suits, 4 trousers, a pair of shoes, his ancestral house, and a small side clothes. That is his field, coconut field. And of course, he plays Veena whenever he finds time. Nowadays, you know very well, even a ward corporator mints crores of rupees, whereas a person who is accomplished scientist, as a president of India, he worked and he lives with this type of assets. When he left Rashtrapati Bhavan, there were only just 2 suitcases other than these books. Then from his biography, I think I will skip this because it takes quite long. I am sorry I could not make it in time. Again, there's a problem with the slides.
Please go through some of them at least.
Yeah, I will try, ma'am, because later on we don't have. There's another program after Aman.
That is
you
have time.
But you have time. You have 8,
Yeah.
9 minutes.
You have 8,
minutes.
9 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to leave your footprints on the sands of time, do not drag your feet. The difference between energetic and confused person is the way their minds handle their experiences. Man needs difficulties because they are necessary to enjoy success. Through difficulties and problems, God gives us opportunities to grow. So when your hopes and dreams and goals are dashed, search among the wreckage. You may find a golden opportunity hidden in the ruins. The 4 basic factors involved in successful outcome are goal setting, positive thinking, visualizing, and believing. Then these are famous quotes. I will just skip them because all of you are aware of them. This I captured from one of the interviews in the video. I did a snapshot from the video. The ignited mind of the youth is the most powerful resource on the earth, above the earth, under the earth. If you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. This is one good friend is equal to a library. Then he says the qualities of leader: clear vision in all areas. You know how to manage success or failure. 100% transparency, courage to take decisions, ability to travel in unexplored paths and be a trendsetter for the betterment of the society. This is his favorite poem. I climbed and climbed. Where is the peak, my lord? I plowed and plowed. Where is the knowledge treasure, my lord? I sailed and sailed. Where is the island of peace, my lord? Almighty, bless my nation with vision and sweat, resulting into happiness. Then his tribute to his mother: sea waves, golden sands, pilgrims, faith, Rameswaram, Mass Street, all merged into one, my mother. You come to me like heaven's caring arms. I remember the war days when life was challenge and toil, miles to walk before sunrise, walking to take lessons from the saintly teacher near the temple, again miles to the Arab training school, climb sandy hills to railway station road, collect, distribute newspapers to the temple city citizens. Few hours after sunrise, going to the school, evening business time before study at night. He used to help his father. They have a small shop, coconut shop near the mosque. All this pain of a young boy. My mother, you transformed into pious strength with kneeling and bowing 5 times for the grace of the Almighty only. My mother, your strong pity in your children's strength. You always shared your best with whoever needed the most. You always gave and gave with faith in him. I still remember the day when I was 10, sleeping on your lap, to the envy of my elder brothers and sisters. It was full moon night. My world, you only knew. Again. Okay. Again, problem. 1 minute. I don't know what's going wrong today. Unfortunately, should not. Yeah, I never had so many problems anytime.
Today you have done a wonderful job. I'm not
Sometimes
kidding.
problems are better to have.
Yeah. So good.
Better to have problem.
That's
Sharma
the
ji.
problem. Okay. I still, okay. Mother, oh my mother, when at midnight, I woke up with tears falling on my knee. You knew the pain of your child, my mother. Your caring hands tenderly removing the pain. Your love, your care, your faith gave me strength to face the world without fear and with His strength. We will meet again on the great judgment day, my mother. Then conclusion. Kalamji was a great aeronautical scientist, missile man of India, icon of simplicity, great musician and author, people's president. Enough. Even though he was a multi-talented person, he wanted to be remembered as a teacher only. His own words, teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor for me. Even though he was laid to rest in peace, maybe it would be appropriate to say, may he rest within us, may his thoughts lie within us. He was the responsible citizen of India and worked throughout his life for the betterment of the country. We must learn from his life the true virtues he displayed as a scientist, as a teacher, a true politician, a dedicated citizen of India, and a role model for the youth. And finally, instead of saying rest in peace, that is RIP, I would say return if possible. Thank you. That was the
Beautiful, beautiful.
that's the end
Sharma
of
ji,
where I
this
am.
is one of the
Sharma ji,
excellent,
beautiful.
excellent
Nobody can do this
presentation.
thing.
Yeah.
Sharma
Sharma ji,
ji,
nobody can do this thing. You
Sharma
are
ji,
right.
it is wonderful
Great.
presentation. Wonderful, wonderful, excellent, excellent.
Wow.
Thank you.
Excellent
Thank you.
पूरा
presentation,
एक
sir.
घंटे के
You
लिए
were
Thank
totally
you.
glued
Really
to the performance. It
शर्मा
was
जी मैं तो
just
एक घंटे
beautiful.
के पता नहीं कहाँ खो गई थी मुझे पता ही नहीं मैं कहाँ
हमारी बहुत अच्छी।
1 घंटा निकल गया पता नहीं चला और
Yeah.
आपने इतनी कलेक्शन हमें दिखाई जो कि हम इतनी मोटी मोटी 10 किताबें पढ़ के भी नहीं पा सकते थे।
It was very exhaustive.
शर्मा
Very
जी
informative.
इतना
जी.
मैं किसी प्रोग्राम में कभी नहीं खोई हूँ जितना आज खो गई
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Actually, I have want to narrate one incident, which, of course,